start with a question then. So Daniel, you worked on the Vogue Italia All Black issue. Like, what was your highlight working on that? Like, what would you
Oh
say?
gosh, the highlight was actually for me, I think it was seeing all of the women who participated in that one particular editorial, because it was kind of like my first time seeing a lot of them in real life. And I was there with Veronica Webb, and it was her, Iman, and I think it was one more other model who brought their own makeup artists. And I think a lot of it too was because of the timing. I just remember it was like torrential rain that morning when we were getting them getting ready, and everybody's time was staggered because there were so many people in this one particular editorial. So when I got there, I think it was like late morning, early afternoon, and two other models hadn't been shot yet. So we kind of had to wait. And just to kind of see the whole production of a Mizell shoot too, because when I used to assist Pat, um, it was definitely different. And I don't know if you've ever been on editorial shoots where everybody's kind of separated. So like hair and makeup was in one studio, fashion was in the other. Because of this particular story and the way that everybody was coming in, it was like this giant kind of room, and it was really cool to kind of see everybody.
A moment, incredible. Kylie, not Minogue, has asked you, what do you what
I
do you
love that.
enjoy doing when you are not working?
What am I doing when I'm not working? Um, Gosh, that's such a great question, because I feel like for so long up until the pandemic, so much of my identity was wrapped up in my job. And this pandemic really made me realize a lot of things and kind of take a beat and kind of reset personally. So right now, I hate to say this, but I've been addicted to wellness. I got a Pilates trainer and I got a personal trainer. So I've been kind of working on my own body, and that's what I've been doing. And it's been really, really awesome just to kind of give yourself that permission to do what makes you happy. Because I think for a long time we got so caught up in, you know, what we wanted to do and what we thought we needed to do. But this pandemic was a big reset for me personally, and spending time with my husband, spending time with my cat, and just taking time for myself.
Perfect. And Jenny CC would like to know, which brand of makeup would you recommend for skin which is prone to spots?
Oh, um, gosh, that's like a two-part question, because when you're dealing with acne, you're also dealing with texture. And what you need to do is really understand how to um, kind of get your skin back to its balanced state, and then figure out, how to cover up, whether it's, a spot from that has now scarred, or a spot like that's in the moment. So a lot of times those you're dealing with raised texture. So I have this trick that I do whenever I have a client who has a raised pimple, and what you're trying to do is you're trying to flatten out the spot, but you're also trying to cover it up. So I don't know if you can get this in the UK, because I've actually looked for it before, but here in the States, it's this product called cortisone gel, and cortisone calms the redness down. So what I do is I try to find I lay down cortisone on top of the pimple, on top of the spot, to cut the redness, but to also try to flatten it. And it also creates a barrier. So whatever I put on top of it locks down onto the skin. So that would be a corrector or a concealer. So when you're dealing with spots, you have to think about texture and pigment. And once you are able to kind of flatten that pimple down, calm the redness, then are you able to put makeup on top of it, because you can't put makeup straight on, because it just won't stick because the texture of the pimple has changed as well. So sorry for the long-winded answer.
No, I've learned something today too. Dee Dee would like to know, what is your favorite product and why?
Oh, my favorite product. Oh, Dee, this is such a hard question. Um, my favorite product, my favorite product. Oh, gosh. Um, so much of my work is about skin, having good skin and skincare. And I think for anybody, it's finding a concealer that really works for you, because you can stretch that concealer out, mixing it with moisturizer. You can turn that concealer into a foundation, or if you're covering up something that you don't want, you could definitely use it that way. But I think finding a complexion product that really balances out your skin tone, and to also, anytime you have a bit of redness, like around the nose, around the eyes, you can use that to balance out your complexion. So I think, finding a foundation or a concealer that's there to support your, just the balance tone of your skin is what everybody wants.
Okay. And Amina would like to know, well, she says she doesn't wear makeup. Where would you suggest she starts so she doesn't look like a clown? And she
That's
doesn't do
such
social media either. She just wanted to add that in.
That's a great question. I think for anybody who doesn't wear makeup, you kind of want to understand why you want to wear it. Whether it's, dressing up, for a job interview, going to work, you want to look a bit polished. Find that one thing that you love about yourself, whether it's like your lashes, or you love your lips, or, you like your eyes. Find that one thing that you're comfortable with and just figure out how to amp that up. Whether it's just a single swipe of eyeshadow on your eyelid and a couple coats of mascara that'll open up your eyes. If you have beautiful big lips and you've always wanted to wear red, I think the best way to do that is literally put on red lipstick when you don't have anything else on your skin, and really see how comfortable you feel in that. I love that look because it's striking. When you do wear red lipstick, I have to say there's this sense of confidence that you get, because this is the one thing that's on your face that's drawing attention, and you kind of have to own it in your own skin to be comfortable to wear something like that. So, disheveled hair, a nice red lip, great skin is always so chic to me.
Yeah, I know you're all about enhancing natural beauty, aren't you?
Yeah.
Maisie would like to know, which makeup trends are you a fan of?
Oh, which makeup trends? I love a strong brow, but I don't like an Instagram brow. There's a difference. um, this, I guess, this new, I don't really see brow because
I've
it just
seen
looks
that.
young and it
Yeah.
looks fun, and we love a big brow. We don't want a 90s brow. That always a nice red lip is always good. I don't like to see foundation on the skin, so if if you don't have the best skin but you want to have good skin, so much of it is about taking that time to take care of your skin, whether it's investing in a dermatologist visit, or just spending time on YouTube looking at reviews, kind of identifying your challenge and then figuring out how to remedy that. That's definitely worth the investment. But I try not to follow trends too much, because I feel like so much of the beauty of beauty right now is individuality. So find something that you love and amplify that. You don't need to be following trends, because at the end of the day, if you're not comfortable in that trend, you're going to feel it and people are going to see it.
Exactly. So do your own thing, guys.
Yeah, do it.
Lee would like to know, where did you do your training?
I did my training at the Aveda Institute, but in Virginia, you have this opportunity to apprentice. So I worked at an Aveda Concept Salon. And when I mean Aveda Concept Salon, the salon um, only carried Aveda. It practiced its mission. I went through education through Aveda. So that's kind of, I would say, where I got my formal training. I did start my career though at a mat counter, but what you learn at a makeup counter versus going through training is so different. And then what you go through working on set during session work and doing editorial is completely different as well. So for me, I really encourage understanding the foundation of the craft that you want to do, but then through work experience, that's when you can learn how to break the rules.
Okay. Abby Sola would like to know, do you need formal training to be a makeup artist?
You don't, especially now with Instagram and social media, you don't need to. Granted, you do want to know your craft. I do have to say that, you know, doing makeup or doing hair on yourself is definitely doing it on somebody else, because at the end of the day, you're performing a service. And if someone's not happy with your service, you can't get defensive because you're being hired to do a job. And that's where learning from experience really helps, because, you know, you may think one thing looks good on someone, but they're not comfortable in it and they don't like it, and you can't get defensive. I mean, it's only makeup, it comes off. It's not like you gave someone a really bad haircut and then that's a whole different story. But you do have to, you know, there's a lot of things that you have to understand about working with people and, you know, trying to make that person happy.
And Abisola's asked, did anyone else in the royal family want you to do their makeup for the day after seeing the amazing work you did on the Duchess?
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you for that question. And that's a really great question. I did not get asked. I think they kind of keep their people. So, and also too, I don't live in the UK. So I think it'd be like, hey, can you come do this? And be like, I need to fly there, stay there. It'd be a whole situation. But really good question though.
Maybe in the future, you never know.
Yes, because I love the UK so much. Oh,
Come over. We'll
I
welcome
want
you
to
with open
so
arms.
bad. Trust me. I cannot wait to get back. I miss it so much.
Chris, 1984, asks, how can he be your assistant?
Oh gosh. Can you come to New York? Or next time I'm in the UK, definitely reach out and look me up.
Should he
We'll
DM
connect.
you, or does he have to go through your agent?
No, just DM me. For some reason, for the longest time, I had my DMs turned. If I wasn't following you, your DM went to a different folder just because I was getting a lot of crazy DMs. But my assistant changed it, so now I can see who's in my DMs.
Okay.
So
So
yeah.
Chris, shoot your shot.
Totally.
Abby Solar's asked again, what is a trick for bags under the eyes?
Oh, that's such a great question. I tend to work a lot with, when I'm doing makeup, I always start with the eyes first. And if I do have someone who's a bit puffy, I like to do an eye mask on them before I go into doing their eye makeup, because the eye mask will catch any fallout from the eyeshadow or liner, but it's also really calming and soothing on the eye. So when you take the eye mask off, hopefully that time will flatten that bag, but it also lifts off all the other fallout that's happened on the eye. So try that trick. I also have this Joanna Vargas. It's called the magic wand, and it oscillates. So what I need to do is kind of move the fluid from that area, and that's what I'll use to kind of massage it. So it just moves a lot of that fluid out from underneath the eye, and it just relaxes it.
Oh, amazing. Okay. Amina would like to know, what is the best translucent powder on the market?
Really good question. I I created a powder for Tatcha where it's great on all skin tones. And when I mean all skin tones, I mean like all skin tones. There's no talc in the powder. There's mica, rice, and silk powder that's in it. And it literally cuts the shine. And we purposely made it a bit on the yellow beige side that it could be used on so many skin tones, because a lot of times translucent powder, depending on how much you use it, the talc can be reflective in photos, or you get a funky flashback on camera. So I purposely tinted the powder so that when I can use it on deeper skin tones, you don't see it. But I know that we do direct to consumer shipping to the UK from our website. But we are working at going brick and mortar in the UK soon. So stay tuned.
Oh, that's exciting. I can't
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah. Cause I was like, we gotta go to the UK. We gotta go to Europe. So we're working on that right now, and it's happening.
Amazing.
So I'll keep you posted, because I'll be coming to UK for press with that. So
yes, amazing. Jenny CC asks, how do I keep my makeup on for as long as possible?
Okay, this is such a great question, because I think a lot of people don't understand the importance of skincare and your complexion products. Because of that reason, I tend to use a lot of water-based products, and a lot of my skincare is water-based. Another reason why I partnered with Tatcha, because not only did, and the reason why I say that is because a lot of the longwear foundations now are water-based, but once that water dissipates from the product, it needs to lock down onto the skin. And if you have a product that is an oil base or a silicone base, oil and water don't mix. So once the moisture dissipates out of the product and it's on something that you've put on the skin that has silicone or oil, it starts to move and it starts to slide. And you'll notice after 2 hours, you're like, why is my makeup breaking up? And you're then reapplying more powder or more foundation. So you want to keep your skincare and your complexion products balanced. So I would find an incredible water-based moisturizer, and then find your foundation that's also water-based. If you want a lot more longer wear, try finding a water-based primer. And the primer should be the magnet between your skincare and your makeup, but it also is going to keep out the makeup out of the skin. So it literally just locks it down. I personally love our liquid silk canvas because it's a water-based primer and there's silk binders that's in there. And my favorite longwear foundation is the NARS Soft Matte foundation, because that's like a 24-hour wear, but it's also water-based.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, totally.
Lee's asked, how do I turn my day makeup to night makeup for the festive season?
Ooh, start with your eyes. Do something really light, easy during the day, and that night, if you have like just a black eyeliner, just rim the waterline with that. Give your eye a good squeeze. And I tell people that because the tearing helps spread that eyeliner. So it looks a bit slept in, it looks cooler, it's a bit broken, and just take your finger and smudge that. I prefer that look because it just looks a bit rock and roll and a bit cooler. You don't want to go with like a finished, beautiful eye, because then it can almost be distracting if everything else isn't as polished. So if you just want that easy, cool transition, and you have even like an eyeshadow palette, maybe use your finger rather than a brush. Just take your finger and just kind of, follow the shape of your eye, but just rub that in. I just feel like that's a bit cooler.
So do you think then we don't need all of those different makeup brushes? You know, those ones that sell for like over $100.
Yeah, yeah, especially if you're not someone, because that transition should only be less than 5 minutes, because you want to get from, out of your job to the pub, but
Mm,
you don't want to have to spend time with three different brushes and three different eye looks, because more than likely you're meeting good friends. You just want something that's going to just make you look different. So an eyeliner, maybe there's an eyeshadow palette that's really small, like the Charlotte Tilbury ones are great because they're nice and small. You get four great colors, and just use that with your finger. You want to just make it a cooler transition. You don't want a whole new makeup look.
yeah, okay, got you. Maisie asks, do you still practice on a doll's head before you go to a job?
Usually the mannequin heads are great for hair. Um, they don't do well with makeup because it's like this weird plastic rubber situation. Um, but I love Pinterest as kind of like creating mood boards. So for the Duchess, that's how we figured out her makeup look, was because I didn't have time to go to the UK. We kept missing each other. We did her whole makeup trial through Pinterest. So that's a really great way to kind of, use that as a springboard for inspiration. But for hair, I definitely encourage a mannequin head because, you know, it's more tactile, and you want to be able to touch it and, spray it and do all these things to it, or a face chart.
Okay. Petra would like to know, what are the beauty secrets you use for yourself?
I'm sorry though, what BT?
What are the beauty secrets
Oh,
you
beauty
use for
secrets.
yourself?
Sorry. Oh gosh, I am so low maintenance with my skin.
So you
I
just
have
woke up like this.
kind of. I have super sensitive skin, and I went to Madrid for the summer, and I came back with my rosacea flared up, and I'm just now gotten it to a good place, but I can't do a lot to my skin. I can't do skincare with fragrance in it. It just flares up. You touch it and I go red. So I'm really particular about my skin. And I think maybe that's why skincare is so important to me with my work. But thank you. But I have no secrets.
Okay, 1 second. There was another question. Someone asked about Rihanna changing the game and why it took so long.
Oh,
Why do you think it took so long?
I think it's amazing. And I think it needed to take someone like her to, who wasn't in beauty, to come in and just be like, y'all are a mess. And this is what needs to happen. And she did. And she set the standard, which I think is incredible because she challenged the beauty norm. And like what we were, what when in our last conversation, a lot of these beauty conglomerates are run by white men, and they've set the standard in beauty. And LVMH saw her weight, they saw her potential, but the fact that she had the courage to be like, I'm going to challenge you and create this many SKUs of a shade range was so ballsy, but definitely needed to happen. And I think a lot of brands, found their courage to start doing that. You know what I mean? Now I'd like to see that turn into more affordable options, because it does cost a lot of money to create makeup. But if we were able to find a way to still have that range, to still have that quality, but at an affordable price, that's going to be the next win for whoever does that.
Brilliant. And what do you think about celebrities starting their own beauty
Oh
brand?
gosh, it's so funny because so many people, because now brands are people, people are brands, um, have started this. And to be honest, I they saw how much money they could make, And I don't think that there's authenticity in a lot of these brand, a lot of these celebrities trying to create a brand because they're basing it on, you know, their social media following, or there are people who have never spoken about beauty who are like, now I'm doing a beauty brand. And I think that's the consumer is now understanding, okay, this is weird. They all kind of look the same. Um, I think the appreciation of beauty has definitely changed. And I'm saying emotional appreciation, because they're seeing these products and they're realizing, like, if this looks like this and this is priced at 52 pounds and I can get the same thing for 20, what is going to make this any different? Do you know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
it's just the emotional value to makeup has completely changed. And I think what's going to resonate is how much these people put behind their worth with their product. I think Selena Gomez is doing a great job right now because, you see her talking about it. You see her in her campaigns. I mean, Jessica Alba with Honest Beauty was one of the first who pioneered that. So it's really understanding the relationship between celebrity and their brand and convincing the consumer that, this is an honest and transparent situation.
Okay. And final question in honor of UK Black History Month. Is there a makeup artist you've come across who inspires you?
Oh gosh. I mean, obviously Pat, I mean, she has been so revolutionary. And to see her create her brand the way that she has is really inspiring. But I do hope that this opportunity opens up more for a lot of, people of color to be creative. I mean, you look at Edward and at Vogue, and you look at Pat, and I don't know of any other UK stylist, so to speak, other than Edward, that I know of. And that's where there's huge opportunity now. And, as much as social media has kind of changed the landscape of our business, it is an incredible platform to showcase your own voice and your own talent. And, a lot of people pull up, I know on set, if they haven't heard of someone, they'll go to their Instagram page. So understanding how to navigate your Instagram is a whole other story, but it is important to really kind of find the next generation of talent. Just because, all of us who love magazines and who fell in love with publishing, unfortunately, it's imploding and it's dying off. So, and TikTok moves so fast that you're not going to find the next big stylist or the next designer on TikTok because you just can't. So Instagram, I think, is the platform to discover and just pay attention to that space.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Daniel. Everyone in the chat is saying you're an inspiration, which you are.
Thank you.
And
so much
they've
fun.
really, really enjoyed this interview. Vivian said, "You're amazing, Mr. Martin. We bow down to you."
Oh, no. Thank you. You're so sweet.
And thank you so much for joining us. And for those of you in the audience at home, thank you for joining us. I hope you're as inspired as I am and us over at FMA. And please stay tuned for the next panel discussion.
Awesome.
Thank you.